We live in a time when self-restraint is mocked, when discipline is outdated, and when indulgence is normalized. This makes the man who chooses semen retention a living anomaly, someone who has stepped off a conveyor belt of mediocrity and chosen a path less traveled. He becomes rare. And being rare is magnetic. The energy of a man who withholds a seed is unlike anything else. He radiates power, confidence, clarity, and purpose. The magnetic aura that emanates from such a man doesn't require loud words or boastful acts. His very presence speaks. This essay explores how semen retention makes you rare, and why this rarity is inherently attractive, both to women, to success, and to your highest self. The average man today is easily accessible, easily manipulated, and easily drained. He wakes up with no intention, scrolls through pornography or social media, ejaculates the pixels, and then drags himself through a routine life. He lacks a spark. He lacks depth. He lacks fire. Most men have no resistance to their urges. The moment a temptation appears, they bow to it. This is a common man. And because he is everywhere, he has no value. In economics, something that is abundant is usually cheap. Scarcity increases value. The same principle applies spiritually and energetically. When a man retains a seed, when he conserves that vital, creative energy that most squander daily, he begins to separate himself from a herd. He becomes rare. Magnetism isn't about manipulation or charm. It's about energy. It's about presence. When you walk into a room, people feel you before you speak. Your energy introduces you. And when you practice semen retention, that energy becomes concentrated, purified, and powerful. Rarity is magnetic because it's unfamiliar. Most people are walking around half awake. When they encounter someone fully alive, centered, grounded, and disciplined, they're drawn to him, often without knowing why. This is not just metaphysical, it's biological. When a man is on semen retention, his testosterone levels stabilize at a higher baseline. His voice becomes deeper. His posture improves. His eye contact sharpens. His pheromones change. His brain becomes more focused. All of this creates a chemical and energetic signal that says, I am powerful. I am present. I am not like the rest. That is magnetic. Beyond biology, something deeper begins to emerge. The man on retention starts to develop a spiritual gravity. He is no longer moved by lust, by empty pleasures, or by the validation of others. He begins to embody sovereignty. His presence becomes medicinal. His words carry weight. His silence is rich. When he looks at you, you feel seen. When he speaks, you listen. Why? Because he's speaking from a place of clarity and power, not depletion and neediness. The spiritual magnetism cannot be faked. It only comes through a lifestyle of retention, refinement, and resistance to the ordinary. One of the most profound effects of semen retention is how it changes your interactions with women. You no longer chase. You no longer beg. You no longer try to prove yourself. Why? Because you are full within. You are whole. Women are deeply intuitive. They don't always understand logically what they're sensing, but they feel energy more acutely than most men. When you're retaining, you carry a different frequency, a vibrational tone that says, I am in control of myself. I don't need you, but I see you. This is incredibly attractive. Why? Because it's rare. The average man is starving for attention, for validation, for sex. He's like a beggar. The retainer is a king. And kings don't beg. Kings attract. When a woman meets a man who is not trying to take from her, who doesn't need her body to feel complete, she relaxes in his presence. She respects him. She desires him. Because he's rare. And again, being rare is magnetic. Masculinity is not about domination. It's about direction. It's about discipline, structure, vision, and focus. When you practice semen retention, you are aligning yourself with the ancient, powerful archetype of the true man, the one who creates, protects, leads, and builds. This is not the hypersexual, overexposed male image you see in music videos and movies. That's counterfeit masculinity, a false image built on lust, ego, and insecurity. True masculinity doesn't chase orgasm. It channels energy. It builds empires. It creates art. It serves a higher calling. When you retain, you reclaim that masculine blueprint. And in a society where most men are lost and drifting, a man with direction is magnetic. A man who carries purpose in his blood is rare. We've all felt it before, walking into a room and sensing the presence of someone powerful, even if they say nothing. That's aura, and semen retention enhances it exponentially. Why? Because semen is not just a physical fluid. It's life force. It's potential. It's spiritual electricity. When you retain it, you're not just not ejaculating. You're recycling and refining this energy. Over time, it accumulates, elevates, and radiates from you. Your aura becomes richer, denser, more luminous. You may notice that people stare at you more, that strangers are drawn to you, that women smile at you or hold your gaze longer. You may find that others defer to you or listen to your opinion more attentively. This is an ego. This is energy. And when your energy is rare, your aura becomes a silent force. Retention doesn't just affect your magnetism. It supercharges your life. Most men waste their drive on fantasy and orgasm. But that same energy, when directed, becomes ambition, creativity, and execution. You start waking up earlier. Your mind becomes sharper. You pursue goals with intensity. Your word begins to carry integrity. You stop procrastinating. Why? Because you're no longer leaking your power. This makes you stand out. In a society filled with talkers, the doer is rare. In a world of distractions, the focused man is magnetic. People begin to notice your consistency. Your discipline becomes your advertisement. Your actions speak louder than words. You become an example. Success starts to follow you, not because you're chasing it, but because you're embodying the kind of man who attracts it. Most men lower their standards for pleasure. They entertain women they're not truly attracted to. They watch porn. They give in to the quick fix. But the man on semen retention becomes a man of standards. He doesn't settle. He doesn't just accept any energy into his life. He's aware of the cost of intimacy, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So he chooses wisely. This makes him even more attractive. Why? Because people want what they can't easily have. When you are no longer chasing every skirt, when you hold your own frame, when you require depth and quality in your relationships, you become valuable. You become the prize. Your standards create your magnetism. Your boundaries shape your power. When you choose to be rare, you step into the path of legacy. You are no longer living for the moment. You are building for generations. Semen retention helps you embody that long-term mindset. You stop wasting time on hookups, parties, and distractions. You start thinking about building wealth, creating impact, and serving a purpose larger than yourself. You begin to design a life that lasts. That mindset alone separates you from 99% of men. You are no longer trying to impress. You are trying to inspire. You are not here to compete. You are here to contribute. That energy, that frequency is unforgettable. And unforgettable is just another word for rare. Let's be clear. This path is not easy. You will be misunderstood. People will mock you. Women may test you. Friends may think you're crazy. The world will not celebrate your restraint. But that's the point. If everyone could do it, it wouldn't be rare. Every day you retain, you build inner fire. Every urge you overcome, you strengthen your will. Every temptation you say no to is a brick in the fortress of your soul. Most men will never experience the level of power, clarity, and purpose that comes from retention. That's why you will shine. You will glow. You will radiate. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand out. You were made to be magnetic. And rarity is the price. You were born to be rare. This world doesn't need more weak men. It doesn't need more consumers. It doesn't need more addicts. It needs kings. It needs men who walk with fire in their eyes, vision in their hearts, and discipline in their blood. That man is rare. That man is magnetic. Semen retention is not about denial. It's about power. It's about remembering who you are. It's about taking your energy back from the world and using it to create something eternal. When you choose retention, you are not just choosing to withhold ejaculation. You are choosing greatness. You are choosing depth. You are choosing to become the kind of man who walks into a room and shifts the atmosphere without saying a word. You are choosing to be rare. And being rare is magnetic. Join the Retain to Thrive Telegram channel at the link below, where we focus on building discipline, overcoming distractions, and achieving goals. Join the supportive community sharing tips, motivation, and accountability. Let's grow together, one step at a time.